was council meeting.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Oh, my
Some of
gosh.
those.
I wondered why you were here.
Would you all like to go ahead?
Really interested in that piece of property that's right beside ours. We're buying that house from Deborah Reynolds and we're on a land contract, and y'all just tore down that house 451. And there's just a flat piece of property there, and I'm just wondering if y'all wanted to sell it to me or if we can work something out.
4511.
451. West Second.
Okay,
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't get your all's name.
My name's Jerry Dixon.
Jerry Dixon.
My wife is Shirley Dixon.
And do you?
Marty and Brian, do you know if we own that one yet?
Yeah, we do.
We do.
We being the LRA.
We do, yeah, all right.
Is it DIXON or DICTS?
DIXON. Mhm.
Well, you can talk to me after this. I'll get your phone number. So you
Okay.
have to hurry it out.
Yeah.
All over the internet.
All right, well, that's what I'm interested in.
Okay, and,
We can look into that for sure.
okay,
It'd be
Because
good.
we park on the side of the road and that curb's right there, and I know they want to clean the street, my water pipe's right there, so they can't really check it all the time because I have to park right there, and if I had that piece of property, I've been taking care, I had a little bit take care of that property last year. I mowed it, weed eated it for y'all. I did recently stop a little while because we did have a death in the family, so I just wasn't really up to it at the time, but just to let you know, I did help out a little bit with that piece of property.
all right, so you're gonna,
You just want me to, I'll get your phone to step out. I don't
Okay.
I don't like that to be free.
thank you both.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Just to be clear, that's the one across from the House Street Bridge. right?
Yeah, that was the very first
Okay,
one we
the
tore
first one
down.
we tore down.
Should we wait on Brian for the?
Does it make sense to authorize this? Do you all need to authorize the city attorney to enter negotiations for that, or?
We'll ask the city attorney when he comes.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm sure
This
they'll
is
have.
new
no
to the
way for
LRA.
us to-
And I'm sure I can just write that above here.
Mm-hmm.
That we-
You skipping a line.
So, yeah, that he went out to discuss that. And that's got a lot right here for him. And that's pretty much a side charge.
Well, that's one of the ones that are coming, the ad for the request for proposal is coming out in Wednesday's paper. That's one of the lots that were included in that walk.
Oh, that's perfect.
So their timing is, and yeah, he came in this afternoon about 3:30. I said, you need to come back at 6 and talk to the board. I said, they'll all be here.
Good deal.
So, yeah, it's very opportune to.
And they do. I always turn it, if I go Broad Street, I always turn there to go to my aunt's at Edgewood. And they do have to park right there all along the street. And I do know they did mow it.
Yeah, they did mow it a few times.
That's the best case scenario for a piece of property like that,
Me too. Well, that's why we.
Yeah.
Are here.
right?
What do you think, Roby?
He's doing something else today, guys.
He's wondering if Ray has a treat. He's wondering if Ray has treats.
I do it to my shoe.
Do you smell Dobby on me?
And chasing cats all afternoon.
Little cat chaser.
Yep. If they don't run though,
Not fun.
no, you don't. Ignores them.
Yes, waiting on me.
Yes, we are.
Looking at your direction.
They're at the corner of West Second and Water Street. We all know there's property encased with a fence.
Yeah.
A company called GHW kind of owns that and has put the fence up. And there's been some overtures to me that maybe that GHW company will give or donate or come up with some kind of transfer to the city, to the LRA of that property. And I've been in touch with their attorney and I think there's positive there. We just haven't gotten anything back yet from GHW saying, yeah, for sure, let's make this a go yet. And I think we're on the way to having the LRA obtain that property.
Good.
So that's just the update on that one.
Yeah, that's what I was
If that's
saying.
what
Thank you.
you were looking for, seeking.
Mhm.
Okay. Good deal.
When it comes to the Dixon's request, do we need to entertain a motion for you to proceed in negotiating this deal or no?
Yeah, let's do that.
I left the line blank. So move.
Okay,
A second.
any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Okay, and consideration of other properties and seeking acquisition of other properties.
I think I'm back up here again. As you all remember, the LRA bid on various pieces of property at auditor sales. That's been, gosh, back in July, I think, or June. And the time rolls around into April is when whoever owns those properties that's their time limit in order to, throw their foot down and say, no, I'm going to redeem this. So nothing has changed or moved on those properties, and nothing's going to change or move until April. And at that point, we'll know if somebody's redeemed it or not redeemed it. And then if they don't redeem, then the next step goes of I call it providing them last second chance type stuff that, hey, you didn't get your deed, we're taking this property type notices. And I think there's other various pieces of property floating around town. I have a list here of, I don't know, 12 or 14 that the owners seem willing to donate or give the property to quote unquote the city, which I don't necessarily think is the goal of the LRA. I think the purpose of the LRA was to have the LRA get property,
Right.
which I don't necessarily think the owners are going to, nitpick over whether they donate it to the city or donate it to the LRA.
However,
I think the issue is going to be I'm halfway down this list, and most, if not all, of these properties have some kind of city lien on them. And that city lien doesn't necessarily go away just because they donate to the LRA. So there's probably gonna have to be some kind of three-way triangulation here of city relieving the lien and releasing the lien, property gets donated to the city, and then the city's gonna hold it and do whatever it wants to with it, with the property at that point. I suspect that's the most clean, transparent way to do it.
And then the city
Then if the city chooses to transfer to LRA, it can transfer to LRA.
Right.
Are any of these properties in question lucrative for any type of development, housing, commercial?
Well, that might be beyond the scope of my knowings. There's some flat properties. I don't think you're gonna make up, there's some, $10,000 demolition loans on it. I don't know if you can sell some of them for that much, but maybe.
I think it's in our best cause. Anything that we pay demolition on and they want to give it to us, I think we at least try to take and make back some.
Something.
The city should try to.
Well, and I think that's where we're called. I'm gonna use a generic word, commingling funds. The LRA is technically not the city, it's something different. And so when the LRA obtains the property and then sells it for $10,000, that $10,000 doesn't necessarily cover or go back to any kind of city cost it had, the city had to it.
Yeah.
So the city's kind of eating that $10,000, if you will.
So make a determination on these properties is it worth taking it? I guess is what that is. And I guess the other question, of course, I always have is contamination or anything like that. I have no idea if these are just house lots or anything like that. But again, the determination is it worth you guys taking over a lot that's worthless, have that expense.
We're not gonna get paid liens anyways. And if we can generate even green space in a neater, cleaner community, because the upkeep.
It just depends where that lot is and what it's next to. And
Sure. But if the city's mowing that lot, we're still putting money into it, and mowing is very costly. Yeah.
that all you have on that, Brian?
That's it.
Okay.
So we're on hold until April on this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well,
Consideration of request
Excuse me.
for proposed, I'm sorry.
Can I, because we're just talking about any property,
Sure, sure.
right? Have we thought anything about maybe the LRA approaching the state to try to get the old state road buildings over here? And I did research into the tank situation, and the last thing that was that they were removed.
Thank you.
what, now, where was that?
Right over here,
I was right here.
right, right back here,
Region 7, the old
the
building.
old building over here on Depot.
They removed it, I mean.
Oh, up here on Depot.
Yeah, the state,
Yeah.
the state, yeah, yeah,
Like
this is
what-
all state.
I haven't been to this building, but I've heard the roof is terrible on it.
Well, there's a couple buildings that probably would be best advantageous for those to go down, but it's flat property. It's also commercial property. How much of that do we have in Weston?
We have no more, you know,
And if the state gives this to us,
right.
if we, I mean, we approach them as an LRA, say we want to reuse this land, you know, make it into some, there is a nice pole building there. And the bottom section of the offices are good.
So I had a discussion with our delegate, not on behalf of the LRA, but just kind of on behalf of the city,
Mhm.
and asked about that property. And he said it's possible to transfer like state property to municipalities, but that doesn't happen when there are any private actors who appear to be interested. And there are private actors who appear to be interested in that.
One of those has stuff close by.
With, I talked with him as well, and he, like, the same response. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think-
Doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah, I think it's worth asking,
It is.
approach it
Okay.
from a different angle.
Because, you know, that person gets it, it's just gonna be more storage. And no expansion of any business.
Would you like me to go up there and speak with, and I'm assuming it would be Brian?
Yes, please.
Okay, sure. Consideration of request for proposal for contractors.
I think the update is that I think that got submitted to the Democrat to get,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
published.
I don't think there's anything.
Yeah, I was
Published on
gonna
Wednesday.
say, I didn't, okay.
Yeah, the ad comes out Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I think I printed off what, I think the last time that you guys had this, if I remember right, there were some minor changes that Nate was gonna make to it. And so I went in today where it says final draft and I printed that off. So I'm assuming that's the changes he made and
And if you flip to the last page, you can see the timeline there, not the back half, but the inside of the back. end.
I think that's the same package you saw before, it's just the minor changes that you had asked for. So if somebody comes in and says, we want an RFP, they'll get that package.
So who is handling the receipt? You and Brian?
It just lists me in the ad, says to
Okay.
inquire through me. But yeah, I'm certainly gonna consult with the Esquire.
Oh, yes, we must.
I'm hamstringing our abilities. You better be good for me.
Okay. Does anyone have anything else?
Question. Maybe you, Marty. All right, the house that we tore down across from St. Pat's Gym. Is that one of the properties we bid on?
Are we talking LRA or are we talking?
We're talking
city?
LRA, I'm sorry.
No, that's.
I hate, no, I hate to keep
I know,
doing that.
I know, but I was just thinking for the LRA, if the city has that property,
We don't, that's privately owned.
okay. Because that's a nice flat lot in a nice residential area there, that's why I was asking. because that would be a nice house site.
I'm unaware that any city mechanism owns any of that property.
Some of those lots like that, one of the big challenges is if it's continued use and the same thing, you know, we tore the house down. I've been here almost 3 years, and the house was down before I came to work here. So if the use is discontinued for 12 months, now, if they go to build something new back in there, you have to meet our zoning requirements. You don't get grandfathered anything in. Challenge that has, new housing in there would require 2 off-street parking spaces per dwelling unit. And there was party interest in that. They wanted to put 2 smaller homes on that lot. Problem is, where were you gonna get 4 off-street parking spaces? Because there's a retaining wall in the front and a steep hill in the back. So we do face some challenges like that.
And on our LRA properties, the contractor or individuals will have to go by the zoning laws, right? If they're in these areas.
Yeah. Yeah, they put in new construction, yeah, they're gonna have to meet our newest zoning, whatever the building codes say and all that.
So like they just can't throw a modular home in there? Or does it have to be a stick-built home?
It can be stick built, it can be. A modular that comes in on a trailer is legal, but anything that has a frame is an integral part of it, like a single wide or even a double wide. The wheels and the metal frame are an integral part of not only the building, but how it got there. So zoning prohibits those.
That's a mobile home.
Right,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
manufactured or factory built, I think it uses all 3 terms in the zoning. So, yeah, they could do a stick built, or they can come in with a tiny home, they're legal, so. Yeah, we'd prefer a stick built, I think, I do anyway, but.
Okay, next meeting date? Oh.
It is March 31st, the last Monday in the month. Isn't that what we all decided?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Ray.
You can vote on that too, right? You're allowed. Yep.
My feelings are hurt though.